Today we begin the book of Daniel, and Daniel is the last of what are called the major prophets, and that's because of the length of the books of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, and Daniel, which is significantly shorter than those first three. Daniel is unique in the Old Testament. It's the only book that is what's called apocalyptic literature. And that word apocalypse comes from the Greek word apocalypsis, which means revelation, disclosure, or unveiling. And apocalyptic literature uses symbolic visions and language to communicate. The book of Daniel consists of 6 stories and 4 dreams/visions that are all offering hope to people living in troubling and difficult times. And we begin with the stories of Daniel and his companions, who are among the cream of the crop, if you will, who are taken as prisoners from the land of Judah to Babylon. And these guys are going to be groomed. The Babylonian Empire was smart in what they did. When they conquered a people, they'd try to take the best and the brightest, they'd bring them back, and they'd try to put them to use to serve the emperor and the empire. And part of that, because they were young men and they were from nobility and they were smart and they were handsome and everything else, so they're given royal rations. They're going to eat really nice, rich, good food, and they're going to be educated and trained for 3 years in the king's palace to be taught the language of the Chaldeans or the Babylonians. And Daniel is one of those young men. And in verse 8 of chapter 1, it says, "But Daniel resolved that he would not defile himself with the royal rations of food and wine, so he asked the palace master to allow him not to defile himself." Now, Daniel, this is early evidence, he wants to be true to his convictions. He wants to be true to his faith. He doesn't want to eat things that the law of Moses says a good Jewish young man's not supposed to eat. Now, of course, the guy over him, he doesn't want to lose his head, because Daniel and the young men under his care aren't looking healthy and everything else. And so Daniel, later in chapter 1, says, "Hey, test your servants for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then you can come and compare our appearance with the young men who eat the royal rations, and you can deal with your servants according to what you observe." Some of you have heard of Rick Warren and Saddleback Church in California. He started a whole thing called the Daniel Fast, which encourages people to eat like Daniel does. Stay away from rich food, eat lots of vegetables, drink lots of water. It's actually very, very healthy and good for us to do what Daniel suggests. And it's not a bad idea after the holidays. I know some of us ate, at least I did, probably a few more cookies, fudge, cake, and ice cream than I do at other parts of the year. But from Daniel, we hear, again, the importance of staying true to our convictions and also recognizing that sometimes, even in an apocalyptic book, there is very practical, good, helpful advice. So drink lots of water every day and eat your vegetables and stay faithful to God.